Today, we are discussing the new and popular policies related to the EU ICS2 and the various problems encountered since its implementation, helping everyone to best avoid pitfalls. We have invited Jason Wang from FA Technologies. First, let us have Mr. Wang introduce FA Technologies to us.
Hello everyone, I am Jason from eFreight. eFreight was founded in the United States in 1999. In the Chinese market, we mainly focus on security filings, primarily offering MS filings, ICF filings, Japan's AFA filings, and Canada's e-manifest filings. We have now rolled out the EU's ICS2 filings, and these are directly connected to customs.
eFreight is our long-term partner. In fact, we have been collaborating for about 7 to 8 years now. Yes, in North America, specifically the MS e-manifesto sector, we were amongst the earliest to collaborate. eFreight is also a very professional company in this industry. Thank you, including CargoWall. Many of our clients have been adopting eFreight services. From Q3. In fact, we have been gradually receiving upgrade requests regarding ICS2 from our clients, including shipping companies with precise timelines. Specifically, Hapag-Lloyd is set to start using it from December 4th. In fact, the EU's ICS2 upgrade is quite similar to the AMS upgrade in the USA. Let Jason introduce the objectives and purposes of the EU's newly launched ICS2 upgrade and the specific differences from our original ENS standards.
The ENS we are discussing actually 10 years ago, the traditional ENS had already started collecting on the ENS fee, but back then it was solely for collecting data listed on the manifest. Thus, freight forwarders just had to submit the information to the ship owners, and once reported by them, it was sufficient.
Back then, it was called ICS1, which is the version 1.0. It actually began last year. Last year was the air freight version of ICS2.
Air freight was actually the pioneer, a step ahead for air freight.
And as of this June, it actually has started its implementation. Just from June to this December, it's a trial operation period for the ship owners. It's just that ship owners were not up to the task first.
By around August or September, the first to notify was HMM. HMM stated that they started in September. They're going to start.
Okay, and then subsequently MSC, Hapag-Lloyd and others will follow.
I believe at this point, traditional concerns about capturing information on the ultimate consignees likely did not have a strong demand. I believe more likely it is based on requirements from governmental organizations, including policies of the EU government. This includes the US and the EU, increasing tariffs on our domestic exports, and some adjustments in regional protection policies. Previously, taking this as an example, the shipper wasn't really about this.
ICS2, like AMS, ultimately serves not just the US's anti-terrorism goals or others.
But ultimately, it's about understanding real trade planning, which also ties back to some corresponding tariff policies and specific sanctions.
So with ICS2, it requires freight forwarders to participate in the filing, meaning the forwarders need to submit house information to customs and then have both house bill and master bill information matched. But there's a more specific requirement for house bill. It requires the house bill to match the real shipper and real consignee. If there are nested bills, the final buyer and seller information may also be required. Yes, both the buyer and seller must be included. Effectively, it combines the US's AMS and ISF into one single system, a two-in-one system. Yes, because initially in the US, it was just for anti-terrorism. They only implemented AMS. By 2009, the whole supply chain's information was still not very clear.
Which factory eventually shipped where? What is the HS code inside? Although they only require 6-digit HS code, they feel it is still not enough. They need more entities. I need to know everything. So they created ISF. When it came to the EU, the first time we went online, it incorporated all these aspects.
In terms of requirements on traditional bills of lading, those are document requirements or say supplementary requirements. There will be more demands regarding bills of lading matching the cargo descriptions in this area.
It requires precision to the item level. It's like ISF also needing the specific HS code that favors customs.
If we have consolidated cargo in this business scenario, I might have batches of different goods, and I need to classify them according to item HS codes.
And it needs to be precise on how many pieces of HS code there are, how much weight, and then what the seconds are.
Basically, it's equivalent to our customs declaration, where all HS code need to be physically manifested.
And customs also created what is called accepting list to specify which product descriptions are acceptable.
Yes, the US has also been involved recently.
Many of our clients have already been fined $5,000, which is common in our industry. Usually, before the initial booking and obtaining an ISO, we just report a generic name and it was okay. Now, there is a significant change from before, which could potentially increase a lot of workload for our operations, including in the templates of bills of lading. For instance, our cargo management system, many of our client templates also involve a lot of modifications in the settings.
So many clients ask me, just how should they report the quantity of HS code? Commodity items were once too many, requiring additional pages. This situation will occur frequently. This is for classification and declaration by commodity category. I've been telling all my clients one thing. The packing list you use for your ICS2 filing should match the one used for customs clearance in the EU.
This makes me a bit puzzled. Let's discuss, because for China's exports, we mostly rely on the exporting country's HS code rules. And on the destination country side, like EU countries, the EU has its own HS code rules. On this topic, what we need is, whether it's from the exporting country or the importing country, it's the importing countries.
We did a comparison. The preferential HS codes of China and those of the EU are about 90% similar.
The issue arises with the remaining 10%, or even 1%, if I'm unsure of the range. All information must be rechecked, right?
Correct.
So in our system, we have a dictionary table. It has a very good validation feature. You just need to enter an HS code. You use China's HS code.
We have a classification of China's HS codes and a mapping table with the US or EU region's HS codes, which assists in the validation.
After you input the HS code, our system will automatically assist you. If nothing comes up, then you need to check if your HS code is correct.
Is there a corresponding mapping for all Chinese product names under the HS code?
Like for instance, the EU certainly has it, which is great.
Yes, because all the HS codings are based on the International Customs Council.
Could there be inconsistencies between the HS code you declare and the one you report in ICS2?
What kind of effects or consequences could possibly arise? What methods are there to avoid this issue?
Firstly, if there are differences, it's quite normal for them to exist, so it's very common.
It's perfectly acceptable. Yes, very normal.
First is whether the range of differences is acceptable or not.
This judgment is made by the EU customs authorities.
Their entire monitoring system evaluates this.
For example, if you declare something like a cup, but upon import, it turns out to be something completely unrelated to a cup, the customs will increase the inspection rate. Clients often ask why their inspection rates are so high, especially those in Shenzhen.
Especially now with some e-commerce shipment scenarios involving many brands of refrigerators in one container.
During the import declaration, you cannot cheat, so all detailed HS codes are reported, but on the ICS2, perhaps only 3 or 4 are selected. So I have been suggesting to our customers the pre-declaration data must be consistent with your import declaration data.
Although there may be differences, the differences cannot be too large. Currently, this threshold is controlled by the EU customs.
Yes, so my question is, if customs determines that the discrepancy exceeds the allowable range, what consequences might follow?
The first would be at the port of origin if the cargo ship hasn't departed yet, because this has to be done at least 24 hours in advance.
Is it based on ETD or ATD?
ETD, okay.
Most companies file at least 36 hours in advance, or even earlier.
From what I see, our clients have already declared.
Before the ship departs, customs will issue instructions. For example, hey, there seems to be an issue with your product description. You need to make corrections.
At that time, the customs at the point of import have already received the message. Yes.
They will conduct a pre-assessment for risk containment. If they believe there's a problem with your product name, they would send you an instruction directly through your declaration system terminal.
Yes, direct feedback to you.
This product name has issues and you need to amend it promptly. If you receive this command and ignore it, they will exclude the items from clearance.
The do not load message is received by both the forwarders and the ship owners.
Once the ship owner receives it, before the ship leaves the port, you must offload that container.
It will definitely be offloaded before departure. If the goods are already sailed and not been detected, there will still be commands, meaning instructions will be sent once the container arrives at the port.
For example, they may request additional documents, such as an issue with the product description or the consignee's address being incorrect, or other issues. They may also require supporting documents, such as electronic files. You know, the EU process is even stricter than the US. Previously in the United States, the customs broker would notify you to request electronic documents.
It is done directly in the ICS2 system. Instructions are sent directly to the export freight forwarder or the declarant requesting specific documents, such as a certificate of origin.
You can upload the document directly through the system faster and more efficient. Once we receive the instructions, we upload the certificate of origin directly. Customs reviews it. Your commodity name matches the certificate of origin. You will be fine.
If you customs suspects that you have malicious concealment behavior such as tax evasion, what are the following actions? What will you face?
First would be the inspection, and this inspection is divided into several types. Whether it's an X-ray check or a physical inspection, it incurs costs. Yes, costs will definitely occur at the destination port. However, if cleared the cargo, it cannot be retrieved from the container until the inspection is complete and customs has granted clearance.
Delays are definitely going to occur, and that indeed triggers a chain reaction of costs. At the same time, storage fees will apply. Yes, it's a chain reaction. It is very important to match with the shipping company for us to depart support. So once they arrive in Europe, they naturally say, "You have shipped it."